Hello, everyone. Welcome to our session, Revolutionizing e-commerce transactions, the future of online payments and checkout. My name is Sajal Agrawal, and I am the Vice President of Product Management for e-commerce at WP Engine. In my role, I'm responsible for the e-commerce solution that helps site owners drive business performance and conversions to their sites. So you might be wondering, why are we having an entire session dedicated to payment transactions at a WordPress developer event? Well, we know that customers and site owners come to WordPress in order to engage with their audience, engage with their users. And once those users come to those sites, there's multiple different ways that we've seen site owners try to monetize that audience. They could be selling a physical products that they ship to that person's home. They could be using it to sell a digital product, let's say a online class that you have to purchase online. Or they could be having content that they use as a paywall in order for customers to then access that premium content as, again, another way to engage with that audience. But in all of these different cases, what we see is that the transaction, the checkout, and the payment are core and critical to that site. It's almost like the heart of a human body, right? It's where everything really comes together. And for WP Engine, we see that our sites and site owners process billions of dollars each year. And so it is critical for developers and merchants that they are knowledgeable and empowered to integrate the right solution for each vertical, no matter what it is, whether it be entertainment or a personal blog or a subscription site. So what we've done for this session is we pulled together commerce and payments experts to share both the trends for growing their business, but also where do they see the future of transactions, including checkout and payments. So I'd like to call up the panelists onto the stage now to provide their name, the company and their role, and also what are their touch points with checkout and payments. And we'll get started with Bryan.
Hello, everyone. I'm Bryan Smith, Principal Product Manager here at WP Engine. I lead product for our commerce services team.
Hi, everybody. My name is Catherine Kelly with WP Engine, Senior Engineering Manager, and I lead our teams in the development and the implementation of our payments and solutions.
Hi, I'm Vikrant. I'm Head of Operations at PeachPay, and for the past 4 years, we have been working on a WordPress super app for centralizing payments and checkout.
Hi, I'm Daniel Chatelain. I'm the Managing Director of the BayPay Forum and the CEO of Paycademy, which is an online school to learn payments and fintech. And I'm advising companies, startups, to more established companies on their payment strategy and products.
Thank you all for joining this session. So let's start by getting a view on what trends have you seen that have driven growth for online businesses and site owners?
There's more focus now on the checkout, which is where the transaction actually takes place, of course. For a long time, merchants have focused on getting visitors to their sites, adding automated services like cart abandonment emails, things like that. But I'd say there's an increasing focus on removing as much friction as possible where the transaction happens, and that's at the checkout. I think it's driven in part by merchants having more tools than ever to customize, integrate all their preferred payment methods, and use checkout as a place to boost revenue. That could be with things like cross-sells, subscriptions, multi-currency pricing if you're selling internationally. Those types of things are all available as out-of-the-box solutions with many of the tools that are available now.
Yeah, I think overall, I would agree with Bryan here. Checkout has been very essential tool for merchants to sell across the board. I think what trends we have seen lately, or from historically, is that companies like Amazon came up with Buy Now button, which was essentially a part of a structure where they wanted to reduce friction. And that's sort of the trend, what we are looking right now with WordPress of introducing Apple Pay and Google Pay, which directly work with wallets and reduces friction there.
That's interesting. So for site owners, what are the most important things for them to consider when selecting a transaction solution?
I can take this one. So when selecting a payment solution for your e-commerce business, there are several crucial factors to consider to ensure smooth transactions and customer satisfaction. So let's delve into the key aspects you should prioritize in your decision-making process. So first, you should focus on reliability and security. It is paramount to choose a payment solution that guarantees the utmost security for both you and your customers. So look for providers with robust encryption protocols and a solid track record in safeguarding sensitive financial information. And don't forget to dive into their fraud management system. Second, you should look into the integration capabilities of the platform. Ensure that the payment solution seamlessly integrates with your e-commerce platform. Compatibility issues can lead to technical glitches and hinder the checkout process, potentially driving customers away. Third, assess the scalability and flexibility of the solution. Opt for a payment solution that can grow with your business, but also can scale down during slower periods of the year. Scalability is vital to accommodate increasing transaction volumes as your online store expands. Additionally, flexibility in payment methods can cater to a broader customer base. Fourth, drill down on the cost effectiveness of the solution. Evaluate the fees associated with different payment solutions. While cost is a significant factor, remember to consider the value provided in terms of features, security, and support. And fifth, check the quality of the support and the service. Choose a provider known for excellent customer support. Quick resolution of any issues or queries related to payments is crucial to maintain operational efficiency and customer satisfaction. Finally, we are talking about money. So compliance and regulatory requirements are key elements to consider. Ensure that the payment solution complies with industry regulation and standards. Adhering to legal requirements not only protects your business, but also fosters trust from customers regarding data privacy and security. In conclusion, selecting the right payment solution is a critical decision that impacts the success of your e-commerce venture. By prioritizing reliability, security, integration capabilities, scalability, cost effectiveness, support, and compliance, you can lay a strong foundation for seamless transactions and sustainable growth in your online business. I hope this answer will provide you with some guidelines to make you successful.
That's a great list, Daniel. Thank you so much. I think that gives us a really good checklist on what to look for with a transaction solution. But it does make me think, though, that you mentioned payment compliance, and the commerce landscape is changing so rapidly with new regulations, but also just with new players and new innovations that are coming out all the time. I'm curious if any of the panelists have thoughts around what are the best practices in ensuring the checkout and payment technologies stay up to date with all of the kind of changing landscape in the industry?
I think for me, it's really about for merchants themselves, they should be looking at getting professional expertise and guidance. They should be looking at attending industry events, researching blogs and podcasts to understand where payments are going, where checkout is heading, and how is their solution aligned with those changes. They should look at keeping their payment policies and procedures up to date consistently, because their checkout is the gateway to the revenue. There's an element of trust that is associated with it. If they lose that from their customers wouldn't be returning to them. They need to look at tools for tracking and improving the checkout performance, and making data-driven decisions with regards to how their checkout is performing, and whether or not they're streamlining with regards to forms and fields on that checkout to ensure that it's effective and efficient to allow that customer to move through the actual purchasing experience as quickly as possible, and thus being an established customer. They should look at things around, rather than just having one payment provider, researching multiple payment providers, looking at international markets in terms of shipping, and actual different payment methods that could actually be available as well. I think, Vikram, do you have any ideas yourself with regards to that?
Yeah, Catherine, thanks for laying out those points. I was kind of build up on top of that. Agree with you on analytics, and that's what we have seen the industry standard being with players who are already successful. I've been able to measure analytics around, okay, what kind of payment methods their customer really like to pay, and what's the uptick. So that would something be given that if you're selling internationally, merchants from UK might prefer PayPal and country specific payment methods more. But if you're selling in US, you'd rather accept Apple Pay and things around those nature. And so I think additionally with the changing landscape, I think for a store to safeguard their checkout and sales channel, I think it's important to not only rely on one payment processor, because at the end of the day, all this is technology. And if for some reason your store gets attacked or the payment processor connect accounts gets attacked by bots or something like that, it's always important to have a backup payment processor so that your sales cycle won't get shut down.
Yeah, to add to what Catherine said on attending industry events, I can mention just a few. One is Money 2020. It's a big conference in Las Vegas, but they have also conferences in Europe, and they used to have in Asia. I don't know if they still do it. You have also the MRC, Merchant Risk Council, or the ETA, which is also an American organization to help retailers and people in the industry get together and know more about the latest trends.
And I've also attended a Woo session in the past, and I found that to be also very informative. Obviously, just to understand, the direction of Woo, where they're focusing their development efforts, and what are some of the pain points that they're going to solve. That then, we as WP Engine look at to see what we can then build on top of, their direction and their initiatives. Great. So you spoke a little while about security, while at the same time making it seamless for customers to check out and pay. How can businesses balance the need for security, but also with the desire to provide a frictionless checkout experience to their users?
Yeah, I think from my perspective, it's really around choosing the right tools. And to just double click on, that last question you asked, some of the answers, choosing a versatile payment provider, choose ones that are world-class, be demanding of the payment provider. It's a very competitive market, and they should help you in this regard. And many of them do. So, I look at what we've done over the last year. We've integrated Stripe, Connect. We're about to release a new product called Stripe Checkout, which is a redirect to a Stripe hosted checkout. It's optimized for conversions. It's secure. It's hosted on their PCI DSS compliant servers. There's also PeachPay, of course, with the ability to integrate multiple different payment providers, all of which are top of the line and world class. It also has tracking of cart abandonment features, recommendations for similar products. Those types of value-add services, they're becoming increasingly essential if you want to use checkout to boost revenue. And then lastly, the mobile wallets, the digital wallets, Google Pay, Apple Pay, they're becoming increasingly popular. Make sure your payment provider and solution offers those as payment methods because they, in and of themselves, reduce a lot of friction because they enable that one-click checkout experience.
Yeah, great point, Bryan. I think you covered most of the security stuff related to WordPress. Basically, from a PeachPay's perspective, when dealing with merchants, what I've seen is there are two sides to selling on WordPress and in terms of security. So I'd say one would be the payment processor side of things. So merchants would be looking into, like, for example, like their Stripe dashboard and seeing what like services they offer in terms of chargeback protection, fraud prevention with something like Stripe Radar, which like uses enhanced AI to look for like certain patterns before they emerge, using 3D Secure for debit card payments, and in general using network tokens, which are much more safer in general. And I think the other side would be the e-commerce side of things. So from like a hosting perspective, like a merchant should be looking at what their hosts are providing in terms of security, as well as recommended trusted plugins for payments, as well as like all the tools provided in the stack, so to prevent cross-site scripting attacks, and using like services from like Google is using reCAPTCHA so that you get real users on your store.
So we know that more and more transactions are happening on the go. Customers using more mobile, the mobile interface, and that's increasing every year. For store owners, how important is mobile optimization for their checkout processes? And are there certain strategies that store owners can use to ensure that their users experience a seamless mobile checkout?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, all modern checkouts should have responsive designs that adapt to, of course, the size of the screen or device that it's being rendered on. But I think to kind of come back to what I said in the last question is there's this increasing popularity of the digital wallets, Apple Pay and Google Pay being the most popular. They're super easy to enable. Most everyone has a smartphone that they can enable one of those from. They, of course, offer that one-click checkout opportunity, which removes just so much friction from the checkout process, which should be your goal. Many folks are increasingly relying on their phone instead of a physical card, and that's just because these things are built in. It's faster and easier than using cards. It has that privacy and security built in. So I think that is, and it's also accepted, so many places and increasingly more by the day. So that's really kind of where I see the emphasis being put for mobile optimization.
Absolutely, Brian. I think like that's how we have seen it usually work with merchants, is like they see a revenue boost of like 30 to 40% when the checkout is optimized for mobile there. I think like just accessing all those built-in wallets is really essential in making it frictionless here.
Absolutely. Great. I mean, that's great insights around mobile and the penetration of mobile and how to build a mobile optimized experience. So if search engine tell us about what is on the customer's mind, their intents, their state of minds, transaction data tell us what the customer's needs and wants are, and more importantly, what they end up buying. How can businesses leverage data analytics to continuously improve their checkout and their payment processes?
Yeah, so I can take this one. So as a mentor of startups and a consultant for more established companies, I get to meet a lot of founders and product managers. So the data generated in e-commerce or SaaS companies platforms is invaluable because it gives you the insight to tune your business and unearth new opportunities. That's what made the success of so many Silicon Valley companies. It's all about the data and the key metrics that you put in place. So for e-commerce in particular, I split the data in 3 buckets. You have before the checkout, during the checkout, and after the checkout. And I think you need to measure all this. I will ask a lot of questions for each, just to give you some data points, but I think it's an exercise to better understand the 3 buckets separately, and then consolidate everything around one customers. So before the checkout, I like to measure the success of marketing campaigns per channel, not just overall. How many people paid attention to the campaign first? How many came to the site? how many time or how much time did they spend, and what products did they look at? Are they new customers or repeat customers? Do they like incentives or discounts to buy? Did they add products to their carts? How many clicked on checkout? So that's for the first bucket. The second one is during the checkout process. So did they log in or create an account? Did they add suggested product to their cart? Did they use a coupon code? Did they purchase the items in the cart? Did they abandon the cart, which happens too often? How many did? What payment method do they like in general, if repeat customers? Did they start the payment process? Did they complete the payment? Did they store their payment method for future use? So this is for the second bucket. For the last one, after the checkout, did they call or interacted with customer service? Did they cancel their order? Did they receive the products purchased? Were they satisfied? Did they come back to the site? Are they interested in more products? Or did they add a review to the product? A lot of questions, I know, but all these questions should be translated into KPIs, key performance indicators, that can be tracked periodically and compared with per period or per marketing channel that brought the customer to buy or not. They should be measured over also the lifetime of the customer to be able to calculate the real cost of acquisition of a customer or CAC and its LTV or lifetime value. Another element to consider is to compare cohorts and not just overall customer base to be more detailed in your analysis. Once you have these parameters in place, now you can start to iterate, to adapt pricing, marketing channels used or messages and measure the impact of your KPIs.
Yeah, just to add to that, I mean, there as you're laying out, Daniel, there's so many things that you can do to use the data to continuously improve your checkout and payment process. It doesn't have to be hard to start though. There's so many tools out there, really good ones in fact. Choose ones that are really good at helping you efficiently understand how customers move through that conversion funnel. It shouldn't be hard to set up. It has to tell you, where they drop off in that funnel so that you can go address those friction points. Once you have that foundational piece, what Daniel said, those 3 different areas of the conversion funnel captured in your analytics process, there are things that behavioral analytics tools that go much deeper and get kind of back to what you're asking, Sajal, around better understanding the customer's needs and wants. But I think before going to those, make sure that you have a really good understanding of the conversion funnel. I think that's foundational.
Yeah, and just to add to what you said, Bryan, in terms of tools, you have tools like Full Story. I don't know if you know them, but it gives you an idea of what the customer behavior is on the site, if they have any trouble with a button and so on. You have another one like Segment also that can capture a lot of data and give you some insights on what's happening on your site.
Absolutely. I mean, data is key in running a web store. So I think the advice, the metrics that you both talked about, and some of those tools, I think, are very purposeful for site owners. What's one piece of advice that you would give to someone selling online as they think about the future?
For me, I think it's as an online merchant, they have to wear many hats with regards to when they're launching a store. Based on our discussion today, we covered a lot of topics with regards to data, managing data, even just for checkout and for payments. So I think any merchant would need to look at getting a trusted e-com store builder for them and take that heavy load off them and implement that store in an effective and efficient manner. It may be expensive in the initial setup and from a cost point of view, but the adage of you get what you pay for is never truer. So if you pay that upfront cost, the return that you're going to get on your investment in terms of a successful store will benefit you more than trying to do it yourself from a DIY point of view. That's what I think, that's what someone should look to do.
I think from my perspective, what I've seen is in general, like if a store is, if you put more time in making the store look good and easy to use and is like intuitive, that is something like which directly affects the sale. In addition to, using assets from like payment processor or where you can entrust the customer saying that, okay, we are like a secure payment method so that their card details aren't leaked. And I think like at most like merchants like before getting into very much detail of a store, like they should set up a good sales funnel. They should look at like how where the customers are coming from and how they're selling in the omni-channel environment there.
Yeah, I'd add to it. Think outside of the box. I mean, so much is changing so fast. There are a lot of ways to sell products online. I mean, it's not necessarily just adding like a physical good to an online cart and checking out. It could be subscription services. It could be physical products, digital products, subscription products, all of the above. And WordPress is an excellent platform for that, much better than most. If you have a hybrid monetization strategy for your online store, you're selling on different channels, different types of ways. WordPress has an excellent ecosystem for that, integrations with everything. And then kind of add to that, when you get to the checkout, think about what Vikrant said earlier around integrating multiple payment providers. Make sure you have a backup. I think those are the checkout is increasingly important, in today's e-commerce world. So.
And I think as Daniel mentioned with regards to data and how analytics and how that's used, you should consider how you could use that data and information to create a more personal experience for your customers. So for example, like local restaurants, if they know their customers online and they make a booking, they can make sure that the experience that they have is tailored to them. So it's more of a local experience that individuals can have, and thus you generate a returning customer from that point of view. So learning how to effectively use data is key as well.
And I think like with like Bryan's point of view, like I think it's like what WordPress provides as opposed to like other platforms is the flexibility and ownership of your like own site, where you're not binded to one payment processor or you're not binded to like one checkout. It's much more capable of catering to a worldwide audience.
Yeah, maybe I can add a few things also. So today we stand at the threshold of a digital revolution that is reshaping the landscape of commerce. So to thrive in this ever-evolving ecosystem, it's imperative to not just adapt, but to also proactively prepare for the future. So here are some key strategies to navigate the complexities of tomorrow's commerce world. First and foremost, understanding your customers is paramount. Deep dive into your data, as we said several times in here. Unravel the insights it holds, and let it guide your decisions. Data is not just numbers; it's the voice of your customers telling you what they want. Sorry. Additionally, engage directly with your customers. Listen to their feedback, understand their needs, and build relationships that go beyond transactions. In this era of rapid technological advancement, staying abreast of innovation is non-negotiable. We didn't mention artificial intelligence in the beginning, but I will put AI. It's not just a buzzword, it's a game changer. So utilize AI for personalization, efficiency, and cost reduction. Imagine the power of AI streamlining tasks that once took hours into mere minutes. Like Affirm just said they replaced 700 people with just AI to handle customer requests. And this much faster in just 2 minutes compared to 7 minutes before. So furthermore, embraced augmented reality to create immersive customer experiences. It's just the beginning, but stay abreast of this. And finally, leverage the power of video. Video content is king in today's digital age. And from product demonstration to storytelling, video captivates audiences like no other medium. So in conclusion, the future of e-commerce belongs to those who are willing to adapt, innovate, and embrace change.
Yeah, Daniel, I mean, you took the words out of my mouth. I was, if asked the same question for myself, I would have answered video shopping. I mean, if you just look at where customers are spending their times, what's actually influencing their purchase behavior, it's about the discovery. It's about being able to watch a video as a customer unboxes the new item that they purchased. It's looking at the different uses of a product that they just purchased. So video shopping and being able to kind of watch a video and shop embedded in that video, I think has great strides in the future, and I think it's changing the way that customers are buying today. So I would second the video shopping aspect. In addition to what the others have said as well, I think all of those trends are moving us into a new paradigm for shopping. And with that, I think we are just about at time, and I'd like to thank the guests for joining us today. If you look at the future, I think what we've heard is AI in payments, virtual shopping, evolution in analytics, having multiple different monetization models available for your site, and as we alluded to, video shopping. And so thank you, panelists, for joining us today. Thank you for your time. And I hope that our audience was able to take away some nuggets to help boost their conversions of their own sites and their own e-commerce sites. So thank you very much.
Thank you.